Clemson still needs. They'd like to take 2 more offensive linemen in this class, possibly another defensive end, and they'd like to add 1 more linebacker. Just expect some guys to start visiting when they start playing home games again. You got guys like 3-star Favorite Edwin, 4-star Elijah Thurman. Those are the 2 offensive line targets. 4-star linebacker Bradley Shaw's the linebacker target. Those are guys that are going to take their decisions deep into the year. Probably some no decisions imminent. We'll see what they do at end. Nobody really standing out right now. No specific priority target. Maybe that's a scholarship they decide to pocket, and maybe Dabo dips his toes into the portal next year because the end with Xavier Thomas and Justin Mascol both leaving, that's going to leave you a lot of inexperience, and it's going to leave you one of those gaps he talks about so much when referencing the portal, that he'd be open to going to the portal, if he's got a gap here or a gap there. And there might very well be a gap at end next year, depending on where, those freshmen like A.J. Hoffler and David Ajabi are. You got guys like Cade Denoff and Zaire Patterson who I think they're in their 3rd seasons now, but if they're kind of not there yet, are they ever going to get there? You know what I mean? So we've already seen T.J. Parker kind of pass both those guys by. So it's going to be interesting to watch, see how it unfolds at defensive end, whether they take one more in this class or pocket that thing, use it in 2025, and maybe look into grabbing a veteran out of the portal before next year.
17 hard commits for 2024. The ranking right now, number 16, according to 247 Sports. So you see that number 16 ranking, and that's not up to Clemson standards, but that's a ranking, and that's only 17 hard commits. That's not the complete class. Do you like where everything's headed? Do you think this has been a decent effort for this class thus far?
I like this class, especially when you compare it to last year's class. The only thing about this year's class is they have just struck out on offensive linemen for whatever reason, and it's not just one specific reason. It just depends on which guy you're talking about. It might be one reason for this guy, one reason for that guy, but they were 0 for 3 with the in-state guys. 2 of those they were never going to get, but you got to take your swings. Then they invited 6 to the big official visit weekend, only got 1 of them. And they want to take 3, and so far they've only gotten 1. So kind of a swing and a miss on the offensive line so far. But, man, I really like the running back they've got, David Ajamame. I think he's severely underranked. He is playing at an extremely high level, at the top level in Georgia, where he was. I think he's a little banged up and missed this past Friday night, but he's expected to be back this week. Love what they got at tight end and Christian Betancourt. And they've got 2 absolute studs coming in at receiver, Bryant Westco, TJ Moore. I mean, those are the kind of dynamic playmakers that wide receiver room's been lacking of late. So you add those skill players on top of what you brought in on the defensive side last class. You gotta like how they're kind of rebuilding things, after a couple of down years.